Thank you for joining me today. It goes without saying that 2024 has been an eventful, turbulent year. In the entertainment media, with film and television, in books, comics, and video games, we have reached a boiling point in culture as million-dollar corporations manipulate the common man and turn us against each other, making us fight each other so we will not be able to see who our true enemies are, so those million-dollar corporations can control our hearts, minds, and spending habits. But those are small things. We can help each other come to our senses and be better than those heartless millionaires who do not understand us and do not care about us. In the long journey of life, those issues are so small and insignificant. The year is drawing to a close, 2024. Many of us have lost people we love and care about. Many of us have had to say goodbye to friends and family. Many of us did not have the luxury of saying goodbye and must live with the specter of guilt and regret following close behind us, casting a shadow on every step we take. Some of us did not make it to the end of 2024. Some of us reached the very end of the road on our journey of life. And some of us don't figure out until reaching that end of the road that all this petty squabbling, name-calling, childish attention-seeking, and hatred toward our fellow people, wasting our precious time sitting indoors on social media, desperately searching for validation and a sense of recognition, miserably seeking just a few more likes, thumbs ups, hearts, and retweets. At the end of your road, you will learn too late that all those empty things mean nothing. When you say goodbye to someone for the final time, your number of followers or subscribers have no value. The number of comments you receive on a post is no validation for who you are or what good you've brought into the world. The world is not here on this video platform. The world is not on your phone or your tablet or your PC. The world is not in a video game or a movie. It's out there. The world is where people are. The world is where people see you and accept you and know you for who you are. The world is out there. A good leader must be able to see the future, but a good leader must also be able to see where you have come from and where you are now. I've been watching our path, where we have come from, where we are going, and where we are now. Media is more than just entertainment. It is a record of us. It's a record of our lives. It is a record of what we believe in. We have so much media that pays homage to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. But something has happened along the way. The decade of the 2020s has gotten off to a bad start, marked by fear, resentment, hatred, and distrust. The media of this decade is scarred by those injuries. The 20s will not be a decade that we pay homage to in the future. I can see it. The 20s is a lost decade for our media, the very thing we rely on to remember who we are and to show others what our dreams are, to show people what we believe in. The 20s is a lost decade because we let multi-million-dollar corporations who only care about squeezing us for money view our fellow human beings with distrust and hatred, and that shows in our media. It shows in our online interactions and with each other. The 20s is a lost decade because we lost sight of how beautiful, how meaningful, and how important life actually is. We have grown cynical about the world. We have lost interest in spending time with our fellow human beings. We have forgotten how important it is to listen to each other, to see eye to eye, and to just try to understand each other. If we don't do something, if we don't make a course correction, things will only get worse. I want to ask you some personal, genuine questions. And please think carefully about your answer. Do you want to feel more lonely than you do now? Do you want to feel less trust and less respect from your fellow human beings? Do you want to feel even less hope than you do now? The road to the future is paved by good people, then later sold for parts by the greedy and rich. Do you want to be someone who paves the road toward the future? Or do you want to be someone who makes the world worse so you can make $1 today that you will spend and forget tomorrow? This year has been difficult for many of us. In the entertainment industry, in games development, there are those of you who have been fighting for what you believe is right. What I believe is right is understanding, tolerance, and acceptance of our fellow humans. Not the way that a greedy corporation tells me with their spreadsheets. Only a fool trusts a life philosophy printed on money. What I believe is what we have in the real world, what we had before the 20s. People who are willing to understand others who are different from them. People who tolerate and can be respectful to others, even if they have totally different worldviews and perspectives. People who are willing to accept others despite their skin color, their politics, their sexual identity, because none of those things matter. These greedy corporations that set out to control you, they want you to believe those things matter because it's a shortcut for them. But those things don't matter. What matters is that you've made an effort to be a good person. What matters is that you have spent time with the people you love and care about. What matters is that you have helped pave the road to the future and not dismantled it so you can sell it for parts. For those of you who have been fighting to try to make the world better, who have been fighting for what you believe in, I thank you. I know this may be unfair of me, but I must ask you keep fighting. No matter how many new words are made up to insult you, no matter how many attempts anyone makes to tear you down and ruin your life, stand your ground. The world needs strong people, good people. If not you, then no one. So stand up. Fight for what you believe in. Fight for your fellow human beings. The 20s is a lost decade. We have produced our absolute worst media because we have been at our worst. We have been veering farther and farther off the road, off course. But we can stop. We can choose to get back on that road. All we have to do is choose to do the right thing and turn around. We may not have intended things to turn out this way, but you and I are now on this journey together. We are now traveling down the road of life side by side. And one day, we will have to say goodbye to each other one last time. When that day comes, I hope the path we leave behind us is one that others may walk so they can find their way to a better future. The year is coming to a close. If you were able to make it, if you survived the year, I am glad you are here. For those of us who couldn't make it to the end of the year, I'm glad you were there to share part of this journey with me. And goodbye. To everyone out there, thank you for being here with me. Life is an adventure. So get out there and live. Happy New Year.